Pierre, thank you so much for your time. It's late at night. You've just had an emotional and very atmospheric run around this track in the rain in memory of your great friend, Anthoine. It was so lovely to see the paddock come together for something which is so special to you. How did it feel?
I think it was very emotional. I must say, I'm really proud of our sports right now, because I've just seen, in these tremendous conditions, most of the people in the paddock, whether it's Formula 1, Formula 2 and Formula 3, gathered together on the grid. And obviously it was a very meaningful, sort of run for me, for Anthoine, and obviously Delano as well, who we lost a couple of weeks ago. And I think it's no surprise to anyone, how close I was from Anthoine. I kind of grew up with him my whole life, and how I can relate to what's happened to him. And it was just a moment for him to remember my friend, paying tribute to my friend as a race driver. Also the fact that I'm racing for Alpine this season. He was a Alpine driver, and I know it was usually highly appreciated inside the team, very supported, and yeah, I obviously feel like I'm carrying some sort of his dream with me right now. And it was obviously a small gesture for some people, but a very meaningful one for myself. And yeah, I'm just very proud that we managed to gather so many people like we did today.
I read the article that you wrote for the Players' Tribune. You wrote it a little while ago, but it still is so powerful, so emotional. It made me cry. That's not that easy to do. What amazes me about drivers is the ability to compartmentalise things, not just sitting here now, not just a month ago, but within 24 hours. Is that a driver thing?
I think within 24 hours, and not gonna lie, within a couple of minutes, because my head before jumping in the car, that day, I always remember I didn't even manage to sleep. Going into the race on Sunday, I just, not felt wrong, but felt like I was in a completely different headspace, and I just could not really face the reality and accept that someone that was literally in class with me, training with me every single day, we were sleeping with, in the same sort of dormitory. For all these years, just felt like I could relate so much to what's happened to him, and seeing his family, and I knew it could be any of us. Could have been me there, could have been Charles, could have been Esteban, could have been, and the fact of realizing, geez, I'm not gonna see my friend anymore. From in the space of a couple of seconds, it's over, and it's obviously something you gotta accept when you're a racing driver, but it's almost like it's in the back of your mind, but you always accept and sort of ignore. And it was such a slap in the face and sort of back to reality that racing these cars, even though that's what we love the most, every single time you jump in this car, it could be the end. So it was just a lot of emotions and thoughts going through my head in, bigger picture, obviously what we're doing as a career, as a sport, as an athlete, but also what you're living as a human and just as a person, We were just kids, 20 years old, 25 years old, you haven't figured out anything in your life still, So yeah, it was a lot of thoughts crossing my mind, and yeah, just a very hard reality to face.
I think there always comes at a time when you do sport or you watch sport. My sport is horses, so you fall off when you're a kid and you realise it hurts. Yeah. And I also remember 94 was the day that I realised that maybe motorsport wasn't always fun. My father was working at Imola. He then went to Ayrton's funeral. I just wonder if there was a day where you realised that the sport that you love, whether you were a child in karting, suddenly could hurt.
I think the first, let's say, proper shock I had was with Jules. Obviously, being French and, you know, sort of growing up through my federation, and we had training camps in January where they will get all the single-seater French team. So we had Verne, Jules, the Peaks brothers, and we were in karting at the time. Esteban was there, and we had a couple of other guys. Anthoine was there too. We'll get all together and do some activities, and Jules was like sort of example, you know, super elegant, super kind, extremely fast, very aggressive, and I think it was just an example for all of us. And got the chance to spend some time with him also off the racetrack with Charles on holidays and get closer to him. And he had such a strong personality that I think on that day in Suzuka, same, it was a huge shock. And even if it wasn't as, you know, sort of brief and short as it was with Anthoine, because there was always some sort of hopes that things could get better. Still, it was very, very tough. And then I lost another very close, one of my best friends from my hometown in a car crash accident on a normal road, and again related to speed. And fortunately, he passed away couple years after Jules, and then, you know, 2 years after losing Anthoine. It was just a sort of sequence of events, and always related, you know, with speed, and which is what I love the most. Like I can't be happier than inside a race car and feeling the adrenaline of racing cars and the speed, and there's nothing that gets me happier. And at the same time, that same passion took 3 extremely, let's say, close friends away from my life. So it's yeah, you know, unfortunately it's life, but I don't think anyone can prepare you to face these sort of events, and yeah, it makes you grow a lot.
But when you were a little boy, you dreamed of being a Formula One driver. Now you're living that dream. Do you ever allow yourself, particularly with everything that you've gone through, to just appreciate the moment? Because not everyone's good at just appreciating what they have.
I think I try to do it a lot more since what's happened with Anthoine, to be fair. Exactly as I said, it was a sort of realization that everything can change in a split second. And I think from that moment I really realized, obviously it's an extremely high pressure environment, you're always observed, you're judged, but what really matters at the end is that you enjoy the ride and you enjoy what you're doing, and especially with the people that you care about. And you get very easily dragged away with all the action and just the intensity of this life. And I really try, like, even if it doesn't sound much, but at least, you know, once every 2 weeks, once every month, just to appreciate small things that I'm doing, and just realizing, okay, sometimes it can be even like just drinking my coffee when I'm home, but I'm thinking, okay, 15 years ago, my coffee didn't taste the same. I'm an F1 driver. You know, I'm living such an incredible life, yeah, which is a dream I've had since a kid, and millions of you know, young kids, or not even kids, will dream to experience what I have. And it's just you know, realizing and appreciating what you have, because you always want more, you know, at the end of the day. I'm a human, and when I go home, and whether I have a good race, but, you know, I always feel like, okay, I haven't won. You know, I deserve more. I could have done more, and I need more. But sometimes it's also good just to, you know, appreciate what you have, and the moment we get to live in.
So as you say, you want more. You took a decision at the start of this year to join Alpine. How would you assess the sort of first half of the season? What would be your school report card?
I must say it's been quite intense in emotions as well. I can't recall the last time I I was that, let's say, unlucky with sequence of events that just triggered, you know, a loss of points since the start of the year. So I would say it's been, I really enjoyed starting this new project, and I really believe in it from what I've seen at the factory, from infrastructure, facilities, technical staff, the people working inside the team. I really see like a massive potential, but obviously it's not gonna lie. I think the start of the year has been, you know, quite disappointing in terms of overall performance. We would have all liked to perform better. Aston made an incredible step at the start of the year. We dropped fifths. McLaren surprised everyone a couple of races ago, so we dropped to sixth, and clearly the target is higher than that. So let's say in terms of overall performance, not as good as we would have liked, but I know from what I've seen, they got the team, as he told, to turn things around and really, you know, get to the target we fixed ourselves. So it's a long process in F1. You know, it doesn't come from one day to the other, but yeah, we all working hard, and the team really welcomed me in a great way. So obviously there is some adaptation because new people, new car, new engine, new technical staff, new engineers, new way of working. It all takes some time before you kind of create this automatism. But no, I really believe things will come together, and we'll get to where we want to be.
And just finally, I'm not sure how patient you are as a person. Racing drivers aren't famous for being very patient, but you do have to play the long game. I suppose the great thing about Alpine, whether it's been Lotus or Renault or Benetton back in the day, it's a team of racers. They know how to win. Was that part of the attraction for you? Yeah,
definitely. You know, I obviously before making that decision, I looked at the whole project, and you know, I had to get the information that my ambitions in Formula One match the ones from the team, and it's super clear why they're in Formula One and where they want to get to, and that's why I really kind of sensed that you know, will and desire to. We are not in Formula One to just be satisfied with top tens, and obviously there is work. Obviously it's a sort of long process, and it's not something we are used to in Formula One. We want fast progress, and we want to see results straight away. But at the end of the day, you're competing against great rivals. You know, you're talking about Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull. These guys are not waiting either, and their goals are similar to ours. But from what I've seen, we got the good people, we got the facilities, and it's a question of time. But yeah, I'm in 100%, and I really believe that we can get to the top. Pierre, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.